Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. Anyone wants, I'll fight him for free. The guy's an idiot.
No money needed to fight Logan Paul.
He sat on camera crying his eyes out like a little girl. Okay, Logan, here's your piece of paper. Do you want to get canceled again, Logan? No, you don't want to get canceled, do you? No, Mom.
You're saying a call like that was made?
100%. The dude's a bitch. Logan Paul have sold their soul, cut their dicks off, and they sat there and say, yes, I will say what you tell me to say. Please don't cancel me. I am a fearful individual. The dude is a punk. And if he ever meets me in the cage, I will destroy him in real time for free. He knows it. So he's always going to say what he is told to say. He's always going to sit on podcasts, speaking to the youth, promoting Harry Styles wearing a dress, saying that it's great that Lil Nas twerks on the devil in real time for our children to digest, and then say, I'm dangerous to the youth, because that's what he's been told to say. Logan Paul has absolutely no capability for independent thought, and he has no character as a man. That's who Logan Paul is. That requires a degree of thought and intellect that Logan Paul does not possess.
He's an idiot?
No, I know he's an idiot. He's not thinking that far ahead. Logan Paul is going to sit and pretend that the world is going to be a better place if you remove all opposing ideas. And he's going to sit there and say that because he's a moron. His success is based on being a clown. That's why he has viewers. He puts on a Pokemon suit and he jumps around like a clown. He doesn't sit there and give ideas or say things that make people think to the point where they genuinely resonate with your mindset. He's not intelligent enough for that. He's a performing clown as opposed to a philosopher. If that man would have emailed Logan Paul, would Logan Paul have given a f***? Would have ignored the guy? You think he answers a single fucking email? He doesn't give a shit. All these fucking media figures, all these people who are good for the system, who are dancing on the devil and fucking sitting here talking about dangerous rhetoric and all the other bullshit, you think they'd fucking answer an email? They don't give a solitary fuck about the young men of the world. They would have left that man to die. And even if they would reply to him, what advice would they give? Go take antidepressants to watch my YouTube. They have no value to give the guy. Logan, entertainer. He doesn't care if he has to make a fool of himself. He doesn't care if it's a stupid costume. Yeah. He doesn't care if to be a clown. Anything to get, because he's selfish. They also know my endorsement is extremely powerful because unlike Logan Paul, who sells crypto pump and dumps, making kids lose money, who sells an energy drink full of sugar and trash, sells crap. Logan is a man who will say anything he thinks he is supposed to say so that the people in charge of him don't take his YouTube channel away. Because if he loses it, he has nothing else. He doesn't believe what he's saying. He's bought and sold. He's a puppet. He's a clown. He's not intelligent. He can't articulate himself correctly. He doesn't say anything which is of interest. He has no genuine insights. So all he is a clown. He's a performer. He makes people laugh, right? Ha ha, guys, look, ha 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 ha. So if they take his platform away, people will just watch some other bullshit content, some low-level bullshit content. That's why when he got canceled, he cried his little eyes out. He said, oh, I think he even said in this video he made about me, when you get canceled, you know, Andrew's pretending he doesn't care and he's some stoic warrior, but I know how much it hurts. Logan, it hurt you because you're a bitch. I don't give a fuck. I've been saying I'm gonna get canceled for the last 2 years. Well, Logan needs YouTube to matter. And that's why when Susan called him and said, listen, we've attempted to attack the top G. We're trying to control the narrative. We hope that you have some kind of scope and some kind of control over the youth, even though you don't. We would like you to go sit there and for you to say that it's good that we've banned.
Andrew Tate believes Logan Paul is not just speaking someone else's words, but doing so for views. Andrew argues that Logan acts like a clown, doing whatever it takes to stay popular on the internet, without truly connecting with real fans. He labels Logan a coward and an agent for the Matrix, manipulated by media executives to maintain control over public opinion.
So first things first, I want to make it very, very clear that Logan Paul is absolutely and utterly a tool of the Matrix. He's a bought and sold individual with no soul. He doesn't stand up for anything and he doesn't mean anything he says. He gets pieces of paper from Susan or whoever else telling him what he's allowed to say on his channel to retain it.
You believe that?
100%. Not only do I believe it, he's proved it himself. He will flip-flop on any issue. He can be bought and sold. The dude's a bitch. Logan's an extremely emotional man, and you can see on his face, he's very, very angry and very, very upset at our success, and sits there and tries to say, no, he should be banned, he should be banned. And I was watching it going, the worst thing about this is not what he's saying. It's that he doesn't really believe it. Logan is a man who says things that because he thinks he's supposed to say them, which makes him an agent of the Matrix, makes him a coward. Susan, if I say he's a bad man, Susan, can I keep my account? You are a clown. You are a performing clown. You have no interest in the things my brother and I are interested in. We are interested in the future of humanity. We're interested in allowing people to have open discourse and discussion. We're interested in our children's children living in a world where they're not enslaved. All you care about is keeping your little fucking YouTube channel because you are a performing clown. That's all he is. He's a performing clown and he's at mercy. He's at the mercy of his masters and he knows it and he will say anything he is told to fucking say. He is a coward. Bro, Logan is best friends with KSI, who's beefing Jake Paul. Does that even make sense?
As a brother, as your brother.
Does that even make sense?
Bro, I've had people look at you wrong and I've punched him in the face.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's just a weird dude. Like he's just clout chasing. He'll just clout chase anyone. The problem with Logan is not that he disagrees with me. Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. Anyone wants to, I'll fight him for free. The guy's an idiot.
No money needed to fight Logan Paul.
Logan Paul doesn't believe in any of the things he says. Logan Paul is a man, if you ever were unfortunate enough to consume his content, I get sent clips of it all the time by people mocking him. As soon as something comes out, whether it's Harry Styles wearing a dress, whether it's Lil Nas twerking on the devil, whether it's this, he just sits there and goes, yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is great. He is a talking piece. He is the mouthpiece for the agenda. The people have come along, people who are trying to force a narrative, and they said, look, we need to have some degree of control over the exact demographic that Tate has control over. We're gonna use Logan Paul and attempt to use him. And he sits there and just purports the bullshit points of view that the whole Hollywood establishment want him to report. He doesn't believe in the things he said. He's told what to say. And because he was canceled before and it emotionally destroyed him, he sat on camera crying his eyes out like a little girl. Because if you're a crazy feminist and you genuinely disagree with me and you want to come along and say, oh, I hate Andrew Dada, fine. You're wrong, but at least you believe what you say. Logan's not the kind of person who genuinely disagrees with me. Logan's the kind of person who gets a piece of paper before his show with instructions, okay, and he complies. It said, we need you to convince people it's good that we banned Andrew Tate. That's what you're gonna say. He doesn't sit there and say, no, I don't think that's right. I don't think you should do that. No, he won't, and he wasn't giving his genuine opinion either. He was giving a list of talking points, and he was told what to say because he's a mouthpiece of the Matrix. He is an agent.
You know, what's right?
Bro, fucking Logan's such a snake. He's fucking friends with the dude who beefs his own brother.
He also made a diss track about his brother. I don't know if you've heard it. I couldn't sit the whole way through.
So we have Logan Paul saying, I'm bad for the world, selling complete trash. Him and KSI, I just got sent this about the complete bullshit. We know I talk about health. We know I talk about how your physicality is your mentality and how important that is. This is the shit that Logan's trying to sell to your children. The guy who sits there and looks at the talking points from Susan who says, yes, I was told to say this is bad. I am a clown. Please let me keep my YouTube channel. Instead of being a man about it, he is so fearful of the mob, so scared of being canceled again, that he's gonna sit there and say anything he's told. He doesn't believe that shit. Before I was canceled, him and his boyfriend Mike did endless videos supporting me, laughing about me, saying how funny I was, tagging me on Instagram, inviting me places, etc. Second I'm canceled, they flip reverse it and shit themselves because they don't want to get canceled too. They are children. That's all they are. So Logan Paul's a bitch. That's the first thing about Logan Paul. And what's actually been interesting about this whole cancellation thing is it hasn't negatively affected me in any serious way because I've been saying on podcasts for years, I know a cancellation is coming. I knew it was coming. I knew that as I got more popular and more powerful to a degree that it was going to come. But what it has done is it has awoken the world, to anyone who's perspicacious enough to pay attention, to learn which individuals out here in the social media space actually have character and believe what they say, and which are completely bought and sold and are tools to the Matrix. The people who have decided to stand up for me and say, no, this is bullshit, are people who have, to some degree, credibility. You know, this is people who say what they truly believe. But the people who were totally a fan and then post-cancellation shit themselves in 180 and to get a new piece of paper to talk from, that should tell the public out there exactly who's controlled and whether these people have a genuine narrative that they're trying to report on the world. And it's interesting. Logan's one of them and there's a few others. But I'm glad it happened just for that alone. Because it's actually very clear. If you go to Logan Paul's last podcast where he's discussing me, all of his fans, and we'll talk about fans and viewers in a minute because I think they're very different things. All of his fans, which he has none of, all of his viewers, sitting there insulting him, saying, bro, you're a fucking bitch. Like everyone, all of his own watchers are calling him names because it's so transparent and so obvious what he's doing.
Fans versus viewers.
Fans versus viewers, very different things. So he doesn't have any fans, he has viewers. And Susan and the Matrix and the people in charge of social media companies are like, okay, we've set our media machine. Let me ask you guys questions as professionals. Let's assume, as professionals, let's assume what I'm saying is correct. Let's assume that the social media companies, when they banned me, set their media machine to all release thousands of news articles at the same time, trying to convince the world I'm an evil man. If they had that degree of power and influence, which I think we can all probably agree they do, don't you think they'd take their number one talking piece to the demographic, which is my fan, and give him a piece of paper and tell him what to say? Does that not make sense? Does that make sense to say, well, we told all the news to say Tate's bad, and all of his fans are 18 to 25-year-old men. Who do we have on YouTube who obeys us like a little cock, who speaks to 18 to 25-year-old men? Logan Paul. Okay, Logan, here's your piece of paper. Do you want to get canceled again, Logan? No, you don't want to get canceled, do you? No, Mom.
You're saying a call like that was made?
100%. The dude's a bitch. He 180'd from a super fan to just talking about my rhetoric being dangerous
but
in 24 hours.
There's a difference between you saying who you think he is versus you making the speculation that he got called by somebody to say, here's a narrative we want you to take, or else we'll silence you.
Well, Logan is not capable of independent thought. So if someone didn't give him the narrative, he didn't think it up himself. The dude's an empty vessel. He says what he is told to say. Somebody, somewhere, told Logan what to say and what stance to take. We can argue whether it was a social media company, whether it was his manager who was fearful, whether whatever. But somebody sat with Logan and said, look, Tate's getting a lot of smoke. You were cool with him. Your boyfriend Mike was cool with him. He's getting a lot of smoke right now. You're gonna bitch out. He sat there and said, yes, sir. Yes, I will. Because he has no character or no integrity. If it was all the other way around, let's imagine he was getting canceled and I truly believed it was unfair, I'd sit there on my own platform and say, this is bullshit, because I'm not bought, sold, and owned. He's an owned individual. So he's always gonna say what he is told to say. He's always gonna sit on podcasts, speaking to the youth, promoting Harry Styles wearing a dress, saying that it's great that Lil Nas twerks on the devil in real time for our children to digest, and then say, I'm dangerous to the youth, because that's what he's been told to say. Logan Paul has absolutely no capability for independent thought. He has no character as a man. That's who Logan Paul is.
Logan is a man who will say anything he thinks he is supposed to say so that the people in charge of him don't take his YouTube channel away, because if he loses it, he has nothing else. He doesn't believe what he's saying. He's bought and sold. He's a puppet. He's a clown. And his clown is, when you're a clown, right? See, there's a difference between having viewers and fans. No, but this is the truth.
Okay.
There's a difference between having viewers and fans. When you have actual fans, they're interested in you because of your takes and what you think, right? That's different than having viewers. Viewers are just gonna be, you're on the YouTube algo, you're YouTube's poster boy, Susan tells you what to say, you say it because you're scared of her, like a little girl, and people kind of tune in. But most of the people who watch your videos, and we'll go into this, a whole bunch of them disagree with the guy. His comments aren't even positive. You watch my videos, everyone's saying, top G, we agree. People love everything we say. We have no negative comments on any of our videos. The only people who attack us are the Matrix and his agents, like Logan. So he doesn't even have actual fans. He has a bunch of viewers. And when you have viewers, you have to be very, very afraid of cancellation, because if they cancel him, because he's surface level entertainment, he says nothing profound, he stated in his video that I'm a master orator. He's correct.
Let's dissect Logan Paul's so-called cancellation and how he dealt with it. The man was on top of the world, and then suddenly he wasn't. He faced a storm because of his own actions. And how did he handle it? By publicly breaking down, apologizing on camera, essentially performing regret to save his brand. It was a spectacle. What did it really show? It revealed a man willing to do anything to maintain his status, even if it means sacrificing his authenticity.
Now, you said he got canceled in the past. I don't think he ever got canceled. I think his channel was demonetized for 90 days, but they kept all his stuff up. He was never taken fully down like you were fully taken down. They just kind of demonetized.
This is for the Japanese.
This is when he did
forest.
the Japanese video where apparently he went to a place where
you commit suicide in Japan. Right.
Yeah, I'm not completely familiar with the absolute mechanics of his cancellation. All I do know is that he cried on television repeatedly. So the dude was obviously emotionally affected by it and is fearful of it. When someone is scared of something, that's the tool you use to manipulate them.
Well,
he is scared of being canceled.
Because when this happened to you, you're 35 years old, right? You're a grown man. I know you like to joke. I'm an old man. I mean, you're in literally your prime, bro.
Correct.
When that happened to him, he was 23 years old.
Correct.
Right? This was 5 years ago. I think he's 27 now, 22, whatever. You've had a lot more life experiences and been in fights, literally, proverbially, all that, versus someone who's 23. I can see where you're coming from, being like he's been groomed by this virtual governments, these digital media companies.
He needs them.
He needs them. He's become a mouthpiece of them, is what you're saying.
He's a mouthpiece of them, and he needs them. And you're right, he was younger at the time. I would like to think that Patrick has been through a much harder situation in his life at younger than 23 than cancellation, and wasn't crying his eyes out like a little girl. So the dude's obviously emotionally soft. He needs them, and the reason he needs them is because Logan Paul doesn't have fans, he has viewers. And that's what's actually been highlighted to me significantly since my banning, that there's a massive difference between those two things. Logan Paul is a person who needs the platforms and needs the algorithms, and people will watch him, but they will sit there and most of them will call him names, but he will have views. That is different than having fans. When you have fans, me for example, when I got canceled, they say, where's Tate? Where is he? I'll go anywhere he is. I'll download any app I'll uninstall the other apps. I'll take his content and post it on the platforms they don't want him on. Where is Tate? That's a fan. And that's different. When you only have viewers, you need the algo. I don't need the algo. As long as people know where I am, they're gonna come. And it's a completely different scenario.
Whose playbook you think he's following? If you were to say, because isn't that the Hollywood playbook? Like you follow that playbook, and as long as because that's what you're speculating. He's following the playbook of, you follow our narrative, we're gonna give you the world.
I think that since the dawn of human time, I don't really want to talk too much in depth about who I think they are, because I'm trying to stay alive and I would never kill myself. But it's certainly happening. And I think anybody with a brain can see the narrative is out there, and the narrative is being purported and accelerated by all mainstream media channels. And people who are allowed to have a platform, such as Logan Paul, have sold their soul, cut their dicks off, and they sat there and say, yes, I will say what you tell me to say. Please don't cancel me. I am a fearful individual. The dude is a punk. And if he ever meets me in the cage, I will destroy him in real time for free. He knows it.
What about the brother?
Well, Jake at least, well, this is the interesting thing about those two, right? Because me and my brother have become the most famous brothers on the planet. So there's also a degree of jealousy involved.
This dance that's happening.
It's interesting, right? Because you had the Disney brothers, the Disney brothers, who gained a bunch of power and notoriety, and they were the most famous brothers on the planet, and they've now been usurped by my brother and I, who come from a very unfortunate background and grew up in the street and did everything ourselves. And obviously, the youth of the world today have an affinity and feel a synergy with us that they don't feel with the Disney brothers, because the Disney brothers had a very easy, privileged life. You know, they grew up relatively easily in privilege. If you get a Disney contract, then you become a YouTuber. You never really know the struggle. I mean, you've had it pretty good. So there's a degree of jealousy involved. Also, I find it interesting that Jake and Logan are not even that close. They may pretend to be, obviously they're brothers, but Jake and KSI have beef. They're literally trying to hurt each other. Logan is KSI's best friend. When you ask Logan who would he choose between KSI and his brother in a boxing match, he's like, oh, I don't know, man. He can't even choose his own flesh and blood over some fucking dude he met. Their whole relationship is weird. If you insult my brother or you have any kind of problem with my brother, you have a problem with me. That's on site permanent. Like me and my brother are like this, but they're not like that. They have this weird relationship, and they've slept with each other's girlfriends and a bunch of weird shit. So that requires a degree of thought and intellect that Logan Paul does not possess.
You think he's an idiot?
No, I know he's an idiot. He's not thinking that far ahead. He's literally, someone has told him, say this, and he says it. It doesn't, and it's not just me. There's been loads of examples, and I put it on my podcast on Rumble, where we went through all the times where something came up, some controversial subject, that people were discussing, is this good for the public consciousness? And the answer was always basically no. Is this necessary for children to be consumed? And the answer was always basically no. But it was purported by the Hollywood elites, and Logan was always the number one person sticking up for it. He is bought and sold by somebody, whether his management team, whoever they are, they think it's good for him to act this particular way. He does not think for himself. He says what he's told to say.
But isn't that Hollywood in general?
Completely.
Right?
The Matrix.
Exactly.
The Matrix. So we agree. The Matrix. The agents of the Matrix. Some minds are not ready to be freed. And those who are not ready to be freed are going to sit there and they're going to defend the system. What does Morpheus say himself? He's sitting there defending the system. Logan Paul is going to sit and pretend that the world is going to be a better place if you remove all opposing ideas. And he's going to sit there and say that because he's a moron. Anyone with a brain understands that if you care about your children and your children's children, they need to live in a world full of healthy competition, exactly as you said. As soon as you remove all opposing viewpoints or all competition, you end in tyranny. And anyone with a brain will sit and say, if he had any kind of character, he'd say, I completely do not agree with what Tate says. However, deplatforming is wrong because of X. He doesn't have to talk about me or what I've said. He can sit there and say, no, deplatforming is wrong because we need to have opposing viewpoints, opposing ideals. Idea A, idea B, the truth is perhaps in the middle. He has no intellect.
You
He's
can
no
disagree with somebody.
He can't do that. He's not smart enough.
Yeah.
Tate's bad today. Okay, tell me when he's good again. He's a bought and sold individual. When my hero arc completes, because we're at a transition stage, when my hero arc completes, and much like Batman, people understand that we thought he was the bad guy, but we realized we needed him. And when I come back to save Gotham and the hero arc completes, you'll see him and his little boyfriend back on Instagram saying, Tate's funny, and swap again, because it's allowed. That's all he is. He's
That's your prediction for him.
Not prediction, it's absolute matter of fact. Especially, it also couples in with the fact that he's extremely jealous of my brother and I's success, because my brother and I's success is not based on the same successes that he enjoyed. His success is based on being a clown. That's why he has viewers. He puts on a Pokemon suit and he jumps around like a clown. He doesn't sit there and give ideas or say things that make people think to the point where they genuinely resonate with your mindset. He's not intelligent enough for that. He's a performing clown as opposed to a philosopher. So they're different opposite things, and he knows that, and it upsets him. He can't sit in front of a camera by himself and say words that are gonna inspire the crowds of any city in the world to shout your name. If I were to walk through Madrid right now, there would be young people shouting my name, Top G, Top G. That's because of what I say. He puts on a Pokemon suit and does a dance. He's an entertainer. He's not a thinker.
Did we not just have that conversation yesterday?
They're different things.
Right. And this is sort of to your credit. We were having this conversation because we knew we'd have this sort of dialogue. And he said, Pat was asking me, Adam, what do you think? I said, you got to understand something about my perspective on Tate is 95% of what I've seen about Tate is camera to the face, him talking and spitting game.
Right.
When you're talking about the Paul brothers, it's fighting, dancing, all sorts of whatever. Right. I've never seen you in the ring.
No.
I've seen your
highlights,
highlights, but I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So people know your rhetoric. They know what you're saying, and whether they agree or disagree, you're known for what's coming out of your mouth versus they're known for antics.
And that's the difference between a fan and a viewer.
That's what goes back to
the initial point. He has viewers because he's a clown. Clowns can have viewers, that's fine. And you need an algorithm and you need a platform for that. But if you have genuine fans, like I do, they ban me. People are like, to this day, where is Tate? And they will go anywhere I am. Anywhere I am, they will come because they don't believe they can find my rhetoric or my ideas somewhere else. If you ban Logan Paul, they can find another moron to jump around in front of a camera for you. They can promote someone else inside of their algo and steal his entire audience inside of a week. He can disappear and they can replace him. He knows that. That's why he says what he's supposed to say. If I stop being the performing clown, the new performing clown comes, the algo favors him, they put him up there, and he does a stupid dance, and he gets all my viewers. I'm a completely different kettle of fish, different story.
That was a great perspective of entertainer versus thinker, right?
He's not intelligent. He can't articulate himself correctly. He doesn't say anything which is of interest. He has no genuine insights. So all he is a clown. He's a performer. He makes people laugh, right? Ha ha, guys, look, ha 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 ha. So if they take his platform away, people will just watch some other bullshit content, some low-level bullshit content. With me, they want to see what I say. They'll go anywhere I go. So it's different. I have fans, he only has viewers. And when you only have viewers, you have to be very, very afraid because you are beholden to the Matrix in and of itself. That's why when he got canceled, he cried his little eyes out. He said, oh, I think he even said in his video he made about me, when you get canceled, Andrew's pretending he doesn't care and he's some stoic warrior, but I know how much it hurts. Logan, it hurt you because you're a bitch. I don't give a fuck. I've been saying I'm gonna get canceled for the last 2 years. Well, Logan needs YouTube to matter. And that's why when Susan called him and said, listen, we've attempted to attack the Top G. We're trying to control the narrative. We hope that you have some kind of scope and some kind of control over the youth, even though you don't. We would like you to go sit there and for you to say that it's good that we've banned it.
Just delete him, who cares? I had a man message me, a man emailed me saying that he was gonna kill himself. I get about 10,000 emails a week. I don't answer all of them, but I answer some of them. This guy, his email was so short that I believed him. Subject was, I'm gonna kill myself. And the thing is, I know you won't reply. I'm gonna kill myself. I don't know what to do. That was the email. And I sat there and said, listen, my friend, I get a lot of emails. I don't know how serious you are. I want you to make me a promise. I'm gonna guess that you're not in the best physical condition you could be in. I want you to make me a promise that you're gonna get 6-pack first and send me a picture of you with a 6-pack. If you still feel like killing yourself after that, I don't know you, I can't tell you what to do. But I want you to get 6-pack first. Email me back, we started going back and forth, etc., etc. I convinced him to get the gym and said, get 6-pack, see how you feel. If you still feel like killing yourself, then I'm not telling you to kill yourself, I'm telling you that's what I would recommend. Start training. By the time he started sending me physique updates of him in a better condition, he started sending me huge emails of apology and thank you, saying you saved my life. I can't believe I was thinking of killing myself. You can't believe he changed. If that man would have emailed Logan Paul, would Logan Paul have given a fuck? Would have ignored the guy. You think he answers a single fucking email? He doesn't give a shit. All these fucking media figures, all these people who are good for the system, who are dancing on the devil and fucking sitting here talking about dangerous rhetoric and all the other bullshit. You think they'd fucking answer an email? They don't give a solitary fuck about the young men of the world. They would have left that man to die. And even if they would reply to him, what advice would they give? Go take antidepressants and watch my YouTube. They have no value to give the guy because they've never had a life of actual genuine struggle. I'm out here genuinely saving lives, genuinely saying to men, the world you now live in is so competitive that if you're not a competitive male, you're going to be perma-depressed You don't have a mental disease. You're just in a competitive environment and you are losing. You need to become a competitive person. There's no easy way. It's going to be hard. It's going to suck. But if you get to Talk G, the name, if you get there, it's a life worth living. That's what I'm saying. And then millions of young men are going, wow, he's showing that you can be born from nothing, single parent on a fucking council estate in the worst town in England, be stabbed, come from nothing, and survive and end up with a multi-millionaire. Maybe I can do it if I work hard and I'm diligent and I try hard and I'm really giving hope to the world. And then they delete me. Then they put up a new thing about men's mental health, saying which pill they should take. And then they put James Charles on the algorithm. This shit's evil. It's genuinely criminal. I'm nothing but a positive force for the world. Teach tenets that if people replicate are going to be good for them as a whole. China, we have engineer astronaut. Logan, entertainer. He doesn't care if he has to make a fool of himself. He doesn't care if it's a stupid costume. Yeah. He doesn't care if it's to be a clown. Anything to get, because he's selfish. So I think that you're right, we're solving for completely different things. I know I'm a net positive to the world. He's a very selfish individual, and I think if people try and replicate me, it's better for the world. I think if people try and replicate Logan Paul, well, let me be a clown. Let me just try and make jokes and wear stupid suits. Let me mock the dead, mock people who commit suicide, and then let me just say anything I'm told to have a YouTube channel. Trust me. And I want to say this also publicly on camera. They also know my endorsement is extremely powerful because unlike Logan Paul, who sells crypto pump and dumps, making kids lose money, who sells an energy drink full of sugar and trash, sells crap, they know I don't need money. So anything I stand up for and endorse is because I actually like it. You can come give me $100 million for some shit. I ain't gonna take it. That's trash. People who believe in me. I will not compromise my integrity. The one thing people know when they look at me is I'm an integral person. I certainly have morals because I wouldn't have ended up in this fucking position any other way. So they look at me and go, if he endorses something, people are gonna believe him. And I won't endorse anything I don't believe, so they're right. So any brand who comes along and does business with me is gonna make a bunch of money.
So we have learned that Logan Paul's a Matrix agent. His boyfriend's gonna do whatever Logan does, because who gives a fuck about fucking fight? The biggest problem with Logan versus me is that I'm a completely clean athlete and he's on a shitload of steroids. So for him to fight me, either I have to go on a shitload of steroids and become a super heavyweight because I'm genetically gifted, or he has to pass a drugs test. So if he wants to fight for real and he'll keep pissing in a cup and he'll lay off the steroids, then sure, I'll smash him. You need to have opposites. If you delete all the opposites, then you're gonna create a tyrannical world. If Logan Paul had half a brain and he had any substance as a man, he'd sit there and go, this is actually important for the world. This is bigger than my clown face bullshit. This is bigger than my YouTube channel. This is actually a really important thing, like his brother understood. He is so selfish and self-centered. He's just too busy talking about Harry Styles looking hot in a dress. The guy's a fucking idiot. The guy is literally a genuinely stupid individual. He's not smart. He's a dumb man. And the problem is with him, not only is he dumb, he's a sellout. He's an agent for the Matrix. So from now on, Logan's name is Agent. Look at this guy. Look at the next one. The guy who took a video of a man who committed suicide is disapproving of a man who shared his beliefs. It's all the people who listen to him to give him what Tate's saying. Logan is ridiculous. These are his own viewers, his own fans. He hasn't got fans. These are the people on his own shit who just know he's full of shit. See what the guy just completely cucked out.
I gotta ask this, man. KSI Logan Paul, what the hell's going on?
Oh, God.
So Logan's an agent of the Matrix. Logan sold his soul completely and utterly. He's he's a disingenuous individual. He's a liar. He says anything he's told to say because he's a poster boy for the Matrix. He's literally an agent. That's who Logan is. I dislike Logan on a personal level because he sold his soul. Jake, I have no problem with, really. KSI, I don't even have a problem with. KSI's a bit simple, a bit stupid, but I don't have a problem with it. Logan's genuinely, I think, a hypocrite, and hypocritical people are always dislikable. Something treacherous about hypocritism. But whether I fight Logan or not, there's conversations that are currently ongoing in the background, let's put it that way, but I'm the A side here, right? Nobody gives a shit about Logan. Everyone gives a shit about me. Everyone wants to see me fight. No one gives a shit about him fighting. I'm the A side. I'm the one with the career. I'm the one with the more views. I'm the one with the more fans. I'm the one who's going to fill the stadium, and I'm going to have to be rewarded as such. Not because I need money, but because there's no way I'm going to allow him to walk away with a bunch of money and a broken face. He's going to walk away with a broken face and less of the money, and I would absolutely not really destroy him, and I think he knows that. I mean, I think he's on a bunch of steroids, and he does a bunch of cocaine, and he's arrogant enough to think he maybe stands a chance because he's a big dude. He's my size, but he doesn't know the real game against a real fighter. He fought Mayweather, bro. Mayweather's tiny. And Mayweather's an OG, but he's a tiny retired guy. When you're fighting someone your own size who's been around the block, He ain't got nothing. What's he gonna surprise me with? A punch?
You got no hands.
Bro, it's my whole life. It's the dodging punches. G, you think I don't know what's gonna come? A left or a right, my friend? Don't worry about that. So I'll make sure that if I destroy him, I'm gonna destroy him absolutely and utterly. He's gonna walk away without the finance. He's gonna walk away with a severely damaged physicality, severely damaged mindset. It's gonna be an extremely bad night for him. It'll be pivotal in his life path, and he's gonna wake up wishing he never accepted. So we're in conversation. We have to make everyone think Andrew Tate is bad. The young men like Andrew Tate. Who else do the young men listen to? Logan Paul. So make Logan Paul say bad shit.
Brad, we said that.
Yeah, but
we said that we thought that Logan like had to do that.
Of course he did.
Hold on, but you think someone actually told Logan, hey,
fuck yes,
this is what you need to do?
Fuck yes.
Yeah, I
like
think so
that
too.
straightforward.
I don't think it was
yes.
YouTube. I think it could have been his management.
His manager, YouTube, fucking who knows who. But
Maybe
someone
even,
sat and
honestly,
said,
maybe even himself. Maybe he's like, yo, I
But I
endorse
mean,
Tate.
do you
I gotta
take-
backtrack.
Do you take that shit personal, or you're just like?
I don't take it personally because I don't know the guy personally. I don't take it personally. But I do have a dislike, just as on a personal level in general, for cowardice, hypocrisy, switching up on people. That's just not how I roll with my team. If I was cool with you guys and you all got canceled, there wouldn't be a fucking split second where I'd go, well, you know, they've just been canceled. I might get canceled. Just, you're a bitch. Just who cares? You're my boy. Like, and even if you're not my boys, if I like somebody, I like somebody. If I don't, I don't. The way he 180'd, and it was a true 180, because you don't go from semi-cool with someone to sitting there saying his rhetoric is hateful. He's like sitting there.
We're
I'm
wondering
like, bro,
why.
who gave you this directive? And
Why did they even have to say anything? That's what me and Brad are saying. Is why didn't they
Because
just
they affiliated, right?
why didn't they just stay quiet? But I
Because
think
the Matrix, guys, I'm telling you why. Let's all be professionals here. Let's be smart. The Matrix has decided to character assassinate me. They have gotten all of their media establishments, all of their bullets. They fired every fucking bullet at me. Do you think they're not going to sit there and go, what other bullets do we have in the chamber? Who's his primary audience? These guys. Which cuck do we have who obeys every word we say, who also is somehow listened to by some of his guys? Logan. Go to a podcast, Andrew's back. Whether it was YouTube, whether it was his manager, whether it was his boyfriend, fuck knows who. Someone sat there and said, do this. And they sat there for 2 hours saying, Andrew's so evil. Like a bunch of pussies, because they were told to.
Yeah. We talked about it on our shit. I was very surprised.
You don't think he just wanted to just do it for fucking views?
No, definitely not for views.
No way.
There's not for views.
No,
he didn't
'cause
want to
he
mention my name at all. He
took
doesn't
some-
like saying my name because everyone just writes underneath
He
it,
took
talk to you,
backlash.
you're a bitch.
To be fair, the worst part was just the fact that he had his own thing that he went through and then say, like, this person doesn't deserve
Hypocrite.
a second chance. That's the worst part.
Yeah, but so he did it, and there's also a massive fear of him being canceled also. Like, he got canceled and cried his eyes out on TV. To him, that was the most traumatic experience of his life.
Yeah.
And when someone comes there and says, Tate's just been canceled, they might cancel you. You better fucking do this, Mr. Logan.
Sure.
He sits there and sells his soul. And what's interesting is this.
PTSD?
Yeah, PTSD. I'm not expecting him to... I can't believe they canceled me. Like, that was a hard time for him. He ain't had a hard life like me.
was fucked.
He ain't had a hard life like me. But the truth is this. I'm not expecting him to agree with everything I said. Jake said, look, I don't fuck with everything Tate says, but free speech is free speech.
Yep.
If you're a full-grown man and you don't advocate for free speech, there's something wrong with you. Because then you don't understand history very well, and you understand that the first step is tyranny is to shut up free speech. You have to get one side of the story only and destroy all opposing viewpoints, and tyranny is next. So I don't give a fuck if he agrees with what I say or not. I don't care if he even likes me. For him to sit there and say, I think free speech is bad, just makes him look like a dumbass. And if you look at the comments on his video, look at the comments on his video. He got everyone ripped him to pieces.
a lot of backlash.
Yeah, because everyone knows he's full of shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
backlash.
It taught me a lot. It also, there's some other people, I won't say their names, 'cause I don't want to make more beef. But there were some other people I was talking to who were cool, super famous, and I was going to do their show. And they totally wanted me on the show. And then I got canceled, and they instantly shit themselves. And that went both ways. Like, I was speaking to Patrick.
How long ago was that?
No, I was speaking to Patrick Bet David in the uprun to get canceled. Got canceled. He said, don't care. We're doing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, gangster. Other people were like, oh, you got canceled, and shit themselves and pussied out. Which also shows me a lot. I'm not going to say their names. I'm not going to call them out. But they know who they are, and I know who they are.
But what about Pierce Morgan you just did?
Pierce is
And
separate.
by the way, I
Pierce
just want to say real quick that I think it's bullshit, and I thought you did really well on it.
They just argue. They interrupt. Yeah.
I think the main thing with Logan too, that when he took it too far, was what he said is that if other creators collab with them and give Tate a platform, like, that's not okay.
Yeah, don't give Tate a platform. Don't make the Tate brothers more famous than the Paul brothers. He was a bit jealous.
That wraps up our discussion on Andrew Tate's strong words against Logan Paul. Tate challenges us to think about how much celebrities are controlled by the media. Do you agree with Andrew Tate? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this video interesting, hit the like button and subscribe for more discussions like this.